you were alone in a room with a diagnosed sociopath, what would you ask?
Have you ever been in love?
What does empathy look like for you? Have you ever felt guilt?
That's a complicated question.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Okay, that's good.
What's your name?
Greg.
All right, nice to meet you, nice to meet you.
What age were you diagnosed?
I think I was around 21, 22.
How old are you?
I am 33.
What's your definition of a sociopath?
A sociopath to me is someone who has no regard for themselves or for other people. You're very impulsive, very irresponsible, reckless, basically like a child.
Were you surprised when you got diagnosed?
I don't think surprised is the right word. I think relieved. Like I had felt out of control and I didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing for a long time. So knowing that there was an actual reason behind why I was doing these things, it was really like kind of freeing in a way.
What made you think you was a sociopath?
Waking up in prison was probably my first clue.
Do you mind me asking what led you to go to prison?
I've committed several crimes. I was using drugs and selling to support my habit. I also have many retail thefts.
How long ago did you commit those crimes?
The last time I committed any crimes was 2011.
And then you haven't committed any crimes since then?
I wouldn't say I haven't committed any crimes. I haven't committed any major crimes since then. Actually, I don't even drive recklessly anymore like I used to. I stopped stealing. Now that I say it, I don't know if I've been doing crimes. I think I changed my ways.
What made you make the decision to change your life?
Not wanting to go back to prison. It was one of the worst experiences of my life.
What do you think people most often misunderstand about being a sociopath?
Personally, I think that the stereotype is that they're incredibly violent and just malicious just to be mean and just for its own sake. At least for me, that's not how it presents. More often than not, people with antisocial personality disorder or sociopaths, they're just irresponsible, impulsive people. That can lead to you being a little bit aggressive and irritable, but the myth that they're violent and just out of control monsters is blown way out of proportion.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever manipulated someone to benefit you?
Yeah, of course. I feel like everyone manipulates other people to an extent. We're all trying to get something out of any given relationship.
Okay. I haven't really thought of it that way. For me, it's more like mutual respect and wanting to do others for people to make them feel better.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I look at all of my relationships as very transactional, and it's just kind of the way that I engage with the world.
What are some things that piss you off?
When people can't admit they're wrong or made a mistake, that drives me absolutely crazy. And I think that's just because I used to do that same thing. I used to not ever admit that I was wrong.
What does empathy look like for you, if you have empathy at all?
So I call it cognitive empathy. It's just me making sure that I put myself in someone else's shoes, intentionally. My first response in any given situation is never empathy. It's usually some logical solution to the problem, when a lot of the times that's not what people need. They need you to listen and just be there for them.
Have you ever felt guilt or remorse? Is that something that you feel?
That's a complicated question. So at the time, I didn't feel bad about anything that I did. I really didn't have a care in the world. Once I move on from it, in my head, it's over to me, which isn't great when you cheated on your partner and then they don't forget about that.
Yeah.
But I would. I regret it now because I don't like that I put people through that and I don't like that I hurt them. But that's now. That was